Hello, welcome to my reselling channel, Flippin Hippos. I'm Star. Today's Wednesday, so we're going to do a motivational video. How many times have you said, I just don't have enough time? I don't have time for that. I don't have time to list. I don't have time to source. I don't have time to photograph. And what would you say if I told you that time isn't your problem? More often than not, time is not the problem. The problem is the excuses that you're making that you don't even realize you're making. Every day, all of us make excuses in the back of our mind that we don't even realize that we're making. And so today I want to challenge you, not because I think you're lazy. And if you are lazy, then it's time to change that. But I'm not saying you're lazy. I'm just saying I understand how easy it is to get stuck in habits that keep us from reaching our full potential, that keep us from reaching our goals. It is very easy to get stuck in a circle, in a rut, in habits that just keep us going around and around and around. Good habits, bad habits, they both act the same when it comes to being part of a routine. It takes 30 days to build a habit, and once you've done something for 30 days or more, it becomes part of your routine. It becomes normal. Think about when you get up in the morning. Most of us do the same things in the same order, and that's just habit, routine. And so when you make the conscious decision to build good habits and good routines, then you're being productive and you're at your full potential. When you're not making that conscious decision and you're just kind of following in the same routines and habits that you've always had without questioning yourself if they're good habits or not, then that is what enables you to make excuses to not have the time to do the things you should be doing. Before we go on, I do also want to add, I don't believe in the expression, I don't have time. I've said that on this channel before, but it's really important to say it again in this video. It's very pertinent to what we're talking about. There's no such thing as, I don't have time for that. I don't believe in it, and I won't buy it, and I don't care what you believe. It's not true. We all make time for our priorities. You don't have time for things that are not a priority because you're not making the time. You're not finding a way to build it into your routines or put it into your schedule. But when you say, I don't have time for that, reframe that in your mind and say to yourself, that is not a priority. And you'll find out how fast a lot of things become a priority very quickly when you rephrase it in your mind that way. I don't have time to go to my kid's soccer game. My kid's soccer game is not a priority to me. Do you see how that changes the whole mindset? I bet once you say that to yourself, you're going to find time, because that feels kind of shitty to say that about your kids. I don't have time to watch all these TV shows I want to watch. Watching all these TV shows I want to watch isn't a priority to me. Okay, I'm okay with that. Watching TV is not a priority. My business is a priority. Reading books for me in my free time is a priority, and I do make time for that. So I just kind of want you to try to change your vocabulary a little bit. Instead of saying, I don't have time for that, that is not a priority. Replace that with, that is not a priority. And when you say it that way, if you're okay with it and it feels good, then that's maybe something that's not a priority and doesn't need to be worried about right now. But if it feels kind of awful saying it, or like, ooh, find the time. What I like to say when I'm adding new things to my routine or schedule that I know I don't technically have the time in the day, I will find the time in the day if it's a priority. And so I say to myself, I need to find the time. I need to build this in. So that's just like kind of a mindset that you can have going forward. But now let's talk about excuses. Everyone makes excuses, even me. I make them too. Here's a few we all love to hear. I'm too tired. I'll start Monday. I'll start next week. I'll start next month. I'll start next quarter. I'll start next year. Oh, I need to clean my workspace first. I can't do this before I organize my office. I don't have the energy today. Sales are slow anyway. Who cares? I need to get everything organized and my death pile is too big and I'm overwhelmed and I just can't list. Those are some of the most common ones, but I'm sure there's like 100 more we could all add to that list. And some of the excuses you'll notice actually feel productive. I need to organize. I need to clean my workspace. That feels productive, but it's really not. It's actually just a way to delay work that actually grows your business. And you need to learn to always prioritize any work that will grow your business and result in sales and profits is more important than anything else. If you have to work in a messy office just to get your listings up, there will be time later down the road to clean that office. But that's not going to make you money today, and that's not going to get listings up today. And be honest with yourself. When you are doing a task, ask yourself, is this really a good use of my time? Have I already done all of the things I need to do today that will grow my business? If you've already gotten all your listings up, done your photographs, done your shopping, done your shipping, done everything you need to do, and you still have time in the day, that's when you want to clean your desk, organize your shipping station, do an inventory audit. So always ask yourself, is this a good use of my time? And ask yourself this too, am I avoiding something? Because a lot of times, if there's something that we don't feel like doing, we will find 50 million other things to do instead of doing that one thing. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that to yourself. If you don't want to do something, be honest with yourself, because that's the first step to changing it. Telling yourself, I don't want to do this, and then finding a way to make yourself do it, that's the first step. And remember, being busy is not the same as being productive. You can spend an entire day organizing your inventory, watching reseller videos, rearranging your shelves, buying more inventory, tweaking your spreadsheets, moving your death pile from here to there and there to here. And those tasks, while they do have value, are not valuable if they are replacing listing and selling every day. In order for your business to move forward, you have to ship and list every day, period. And then you need to source to replace what you've sold. Those are the most important things as a reseller. If you are doing other tasks instead, they do not have value. There are tasks that have value and need to be done, but they should never be done in place of the most important things a reseller needs to do. So always ask yourself every day when you are wrapping up or done for the day, did I do something today that is likely to generate future sales? And if the answer is yes, good for you. If the answer is no, you need to figure out why the answer is no, why you're avoiding doing the things you should, and what you can do moving forward to ensure that those things get done every day. So there's this power of doing one small thing that can get the ball rolling and result in bigger things. It's the power of one small action. So instead of saying to yourself, gosh, I have to list 30 items, just say, hey, I'm going to list 5 of these and then see where we go from there. I'll just start with 1. Maybe we'll do 5 and then we can go from there. Because what often happens, once you do 1 and then 5, you can do 10. Getting started is the hardest part. So keep that power of one small action in your head. Getting started is the hardest part. I will just do one load of laundry from my death pile. I will just list 5 things. I will just organize this one area. I will just list these 5 things. Usually once you get started, the ball gets rolling, you get motivated. So I often find that being motivated to work doesn't always happen naturally. Sometimes you need to start working first and then you get motivated. And motivation is kind of hard to keep up in the summer for a lot of us. I understand that. In Q4, when it's cha-ching, 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 and we're all making sales and we're all making money and everything is hunky-dory and great and woo, we're making all this money. That's exciting. That's motivation. You want to get up every day and ship all those items and list more, and you want to keep going. When it's kind of like during the summer slowdown, it's disappointing. I understand that. And it can be hard to stay motivated. But just tell yourself, I'm just going to do a little bit and see where you can go from there. Identify your biggest excuse. Everyone has one. Everybody has their own very personal biggest excuse. Their very personal excuse monster, if you will. And for some people, it can be the fear of making mistakes, waiting until everything is perfect. That one's really common with a lot of resellers I know. Feeling overwhelmed by a death pile, that's also very common. Or spending too much time sourcing, because that's so much more fun than listing. Do any of these sound familiar? Maybe you're not on this list and it's something different, but you need to find what it is. Recognizing your own personal worst obstacle makes it easy to work around it. If you can admit, I shop too much and I don't list enough, that's step 1. Maybe you cut out 2 of your shopping days a week and list. If you know it's because you want everything to be perfect, maybe you can say good enough is good enough once in a while and move on to the next thing. And then replacing your excuses with systems is a really great way to get work done, even when you're not feeling like it. So instead of relying on motivation, you'll be relying on systems. Systems come in many different colors and flavors, many different types of routines, many different types of reward systems that we can all work with ourselves. You can set timers for X amount of minutes. You can batch similar tasks and just do those. Prepare tomorrow's workspace today, create a realistic daily listing goal, and celebrate your consistency instead of perfection. So instead of celebrating when you're perfect, celebrate when you list more. Good systems reduce the need to rely on willpower. So when you have good systems in place, good processes, these lead to your routines, which allows you to work when you don't feel like it. No motivation, no willpower, no problem. I've got good systems in place. I mentioned rewards. Absolutely. Set a timer or do X amount of work, take a break, get a fancy coffee, go for a walk, have a Starburst or an M&M, whatever. Food related, social media time, a TV show, a chapter of your book, whatever you need to do to reward and motivate yourself, do it. I am not above bribing myself. I am not above rewarding myself, and neither should you be. And then give yourself grace on the days you really need it, because sometimes you really are exhausted. Sometimes you really are sick, not feeling well, in pain, and then sometimes also life gets in the way. A lot of things happen to us that are unpredictable and out of our control. And on days like that, or days when you just really don't feel well, give yourself grace. Because remember, the goal isn't perfection. It's making sure that one hard day or a few sick days don't roll over into an entire hard week or hard month. You didn't feel good for a few days. You had to deal with something. Life happened. Jump back into the groove when you can. Your business does not need a perfect version of you. It needs a consistent one. Let me say that again louder for those of you in the back. Your business does not need a perfect version of you. It needs a consistent one. We all have reasons we can put things off. We all do. The difference is that successful resellers never make excuses. It's that they recognize them, adjust, and keep moving anyway. So the most successful resellers also make excuses. Okay? We all do. The difference is successful resellers that are still making the same excuses everyone else does, recognize them, adjust, and keep moving anyway. So if you want to challenge yourself, find an excuse that you've been telling yourself lately. Be honest. You can put it in the chat down below if you want accountability, or you can just keep it to yourself if you want to be private. But be honest and find that one excuse that you've been using most often lately, and then choose one small action that you can take today to move beyond the excuse and move your business forward. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything you saw in this video, let me know down below. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, do all the things that feed my hungry hippos, and I will see you in the next one.